Let's do this. Hello, welcome back to Big Fish Little Fish Aquatics. So it's Christmas Eve and I thought there would be a great opportunity to share with you all my fish room. So for those who haven't been following, I've recently had this cabin built and I've moved most of my fish out here today. I've got lots of rare Plecos that I'd like to share with you all to show you what I'm doing with all of them. So without further ado, let's get into the tanks. So first stop, before we go into the cabin, this is the Saltwater Aquarium now. So I've recently moved the clownfish down from their little aquarium into, this is the old zebra Pleco aquarium, and they've settled in really well. Everything's looking great. The corals are really starting to take off now. This green star polyp is just really exploded on this rock, and it will really start spreading hopefully all over this particular rock. The green recordia mushroom coral at the back there is doing really well, and then my toadstool is starting to really settle into this aquarium, and these guys can get pretty big, so they should get quite big pretty soon. And then my Superman mushroom has really exploded, and actually I'll have to get some footage in the morning before I put the lights on, but essentially this coral has dropped a polyp or had a coral baby, and it's just underneath it at the moment, and I think the little polyp is slowly moving its way out from underneath that giant umbrella of a parent that it has. So to the actual fish in the aquarium. So these are my two black ice snowflake clownfish. They're an Oscilleris species, just one of the domesticated morphs, and they're doing really good. So the female is the slightly larger one here, and the male is the slightly smaller, more white is the male, and the female has much more black on them. They've actually already been fed today, but they seem to be really looking for more food. They're not going to get it, they'll have to wait till Christmas Day. But yeah, those two have really settled in really well. They're loving it. This aquarium is probably over twice the size of the aquarium they were in, and we've now got some much better lighting. We've got some fluval lighting. I think it's called the Marine Sky 3.0. So we'll really be able to start branching out soon into some more into some more trickier corals other than the soft corals that we've currently got at the moment. I really want to get myself a hammer coral or a torch coral. I think they look really nice. So hopefully in the new year, that's something to look forward to. I'll be able to start sharing more information on how the clownfish are doing and how the saltwater aquarium is doing for those who are following me, who are interested in saltwater aquariums. But yeah, this is doing great. Now onto the fish room in the cabin. So first stop on the tour is my little goldfish, and they're in their aquarium here. So these guys are doing really good. I think they're almost maxing out in terms of their full size, and they're just in this aquarium. So for those who've been following, they were in a dual trigon a few months back, but since setting up the cabin I've moved them out into this aquarium. It's the same size as all of my Pleco aquariums, or the breeding aquariums. So it's just under 3 feet in length, it's 2 feet front to back, and a foot tall. And it's just these two goldfish in here, and there is a bristlenose Pleco in there somewhere. So it's a real simple setup. Just some Anubias plants, some Java ferns in the background, some marble rocks either side, and this is some lava rock here. Now before we move on, I'll just quickly feed these guys. So the next tank, these are my Dwarf Snowball Plecos L471s, and there's a few of them just hiding around. It's a shame about the lighting really, because I can see them really easily at the moment, but because of the way the camera is picking up the light, you can see one just poking its head out there. So they're all just milling around in the caves. There's one there you can just see the outline of. There's a couple over here. So these are Dwarf Snowball Plecos, Hypensistrus species. So they're in this aquarium here. Currently got a couple of sponge filters on the aquarium and a canister filter which is being cycled. The aquarium is set at 28 degrees. It's just a bit below at the moment. They're all doing really well at the moment. They've just moved out here this week, so everything's a bit skittish, so it's probably not the best time to show everyone the fish, but I just thought it'd be a good opportunity to share with you these little guys. And there's one there just poking its head out. Say hello. Beautiful fish. This one looks a bit shy at the moment. They're normally much more dark black. So yeah, it's just darting away from me because I'm sat in front of the tank holding this giant camera. Yeah, so that's the L471s. So just up from them, these are some new additions in here. These are my L134 Pleco Compter Leopard Frog Pleco. They have only just been, I've only had them, I'll just get a torch because otherwise you aren't going to see them at all. But let's just zoom in. There you go, so that's the male. And here there's male and female. So they're really shy, these two at the moment. They've only been in this aquarium for 2 days. So I won't bother them much anymore. So yeah, so they're in this aquarium here. They've got a sponge filter which has been taken from another tank I have, which is fully cycled, which is now cycling this sponge filter here. And it's just them by themselves, no dither fish, nothing like that. Personal preference, I just prefer to keep my loricarids by themselves rather than mixing them with other fish which may not tolerate the same water quality or requirements. So yeah, so these guys are very new, so we're probably not going to get much more shots of them at the moment. Typical catfish as it stands. Give them a cave, they will hide. But yeah, so these guys, had them only 2 days. Really looking forward to letting them settle in, and I'll start to document as time goes by how they're doing, and also if hopefully we should start getting some breeding from them real soon, as they're both very close to, if not sexually mature. So we'll see how things go. So next up and directly below them is my zebra Pleco. So if you've been watching the channel, you had seen probably 4 or 5 days ago I put a video out which is just sharing how I set up this aquarium. These guys have settled in really well. A couple of them have taken to hiding in these caves here. You can see this one's I've just put some food in actually, so they're starting to get a bit restless. They probably want me to go away so they can come out and get something to eat. But a few of them have settled in these caves over here, but the majority still, they just love to hang together in here, and you probably can't see it because of the light unless I go around the side. I'll see if I can get a shot. Yep, so there's 6 of them in here. They're all doing really well, and they've probably been in this aquarium now for just over a week. So hopefully they'll settle in and in the new year, some point in the year, we'll hopefully start to get some action from them in terms of breeding. But I'd say there's only a few which are close to breeding size at the moment. The rest have just got a bit more to go, but that's those guys there. So next up in the fish room are my 3 grow out quarantine tanks. At the moment I've got in the first aquarium some celestial pearl danios. I'll put some food in and get them to come out. They're hiding at the back at the moment. So just pop the food in, danios come straight for the food. You can see just from these shots here, the ones with the more red, they're the males. There is a way of sexing the females, which I won't be able to show you on camera at the moment, but essentially where the anal fin is of the female danio, they have a little black spot, and it's really obvious on the female. So when they're younger and the males aren't necessarily showing that bright red coloration, the little black spot at the anal fin is a real good giveaway that you've got a female in there. So these guys, they'll come darting out. They've just got some Denorel Nanogran. They seem to love it, but I give them all kinds of different foods, fish science, nano tablets and things like that. These fish are tiny. They're probably about as big as a neon tetra when you buy it in the shop standard at the moment. They're very small fish, but they're really nice, fun and personable fish. They're not as shy as I thought they would be, being such a small fish. They generally don't mind coming out when I feed them. What I do want to do with this tank in the future, so this has been, it's kind of just been left empty because I know I've been getting ready to move out into the cabin, but what I would like to do is give them some more plant life in here so they can have some more interesting scenery for them to swim around. At the moment they've just got a bit of bogwood way at the back down there, which they like to huddle around. But yeah, so I'll do a bit of plant life for them, just give them a bit of something different, and hopefully they'll really enjoy doing that. This middle tank is empty. This was the quarantine aquarium for my Snowball Plecos, which have now moved into their main aquarium. And in this aquarium here is my Blue Dream shrimp colony, sapphire blue. They're all doing really well. The colony's really exploded. You have to excuse the aquarium, there's a lot of algae. I allow it to grow on the glass simply because the shrimp just love feeding off of it, and there's a few in here now which probably need to start pulling, as they're probably not great lines. There's one you can clearly see here, that one needs to go out. It's not got a nice pure blue, dark blue body as the lineup, what I'm after with this line. But these have all been doing fine. Not much to really report on them. They've just exploded in population. They're all doing great. So above the Plecos, you can probably see I got a couple of an empty tank here, a couple of empty tanks over there, a couple of empty tanks here, and one bigger tank empty here. I'm thinking of putting another Pleco in here. I'm probably going to be waiting till the new year to do that, and when I do, I'll make sure I do a video of what species it is and share with you all. These tanks up here I'm going to be reserving for grow out and quarantine, so once these Plecos all start breeding, I'll be able to document it here on YouTube and essentially have these tanks to grow out the fry and things like that. And this tank next to the leopard frogs, I'm not sure whether I'm going to maybe get another species, another pair, or keep that just in case I want to split up any of the groups which are currently set up, or maybe get a completely different fish which is completely different from Plecos, but knowing me, I end up just getting another Pleco. But yeah, lots of exciting things to come, loads more to update on. Hopefully as the fish start to mature and settle into their aquariums, we'll be able to really give you some real interesting videos on how to breed these fish and how I go about doing it. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Got lots to update you on in 2022. Have a great Christmas, have a happy new year, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.